Hello and welcome to this special interview. I'm Vikram Thapa and it is Amitabh Bachchan's 70th birthday. Yes, to be a superstar at the age of 70 is a great deal. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Vikram.
So what does the 70th year mean to you?
Another year gone by. I mean, I don't know why people celebrate it as a special day. To me, it's just another year. I feel that why not 69 or why not 71? They're equally important years in anyone's life. But yes, somehow 70th, 60th, 50th, they're all looked upon as important dates. So here I am.
So what do you do on your birthday? I mean, apart from spending it with your loved ones, do you think about the year gone by or the years gone by?
No, I don't think so. I just I'm happy to be with my family, and that's how I would like to be. Sometimes family decides to have a little celebration, call people over, and
but we're talking about Rajesh Khanna Sahib. We just spoke about Rajesh Khanna ji. I mean, he once, he was the superstar, original superstar, or so. I mean, everybody said from 69 onwards. And when you superseded him, it was a great responsibility. Did you think that it was,
No, I've never looked at it that way. And these are things that should never be put into comparison. It's not like some kind of a title that you have achieved. These titles are created by media. It's not like being in the army and moving your way up from a colonel to a lieutenant colonel and then a brigadier and then a general. It's nothing like that. It's yes, but I can have my personal feelings about a particular situation, a particular person, and yes, I do believe that he was the first and perhaps the last superstar that we ever had, because the kind of aura and the frenzy that was created by his presence was just unheard of and unseen of before and ever since.
I mean, you're always this modest, you're always this humble about your own superstardom. 43 years is not a small amount. I mean, this is an unforgiving industry, as you've also said in the other interviews. And how did you sustain 43 years of superstardom?
I don't know. I've just been going along with whatever came my way. Accepting the work that came my way and left it to the audience. The audience has been exceptionally patient and kind and tolerant to have kept with me for so many years. So I'm really grateful to them. But yes, I would like to continue working. I would want to be challenged with something new every day, even at this age. I wait for that opportunity when something new will come my way and somebody will design something which perhaps I've never thought of or never done. And that's exciting for me.
If I'm correct, Amitabh, I was reading somewhere, means the light that will never go off, and Bachchan is childlike. But it is always the childlike enthusiasm in you. I mean, you're now on Facebook, on Twitter, you want to know the latest things that are happening around you. You want to connect with you have an extended family on the Twitter. I mean, do you think that is something that is very important in your life? Do you think it is?
Well, I just connected it, and once I was on it, I just started giving it some kind of nomenclature and names, but never ever designed it with any purpose of longevity. It was just something that I enjoyed doing. I like the medium. I like the fact that you can communicate with your fans and your well-wishers almost on an immediate basis. Many people say that you lose your mystique once you're on these platforms, but at 70 years, what mystique is there left in any case? But times have changed now, and communication and the way we communicate with each other is so rapid and so fast that you walk out of here, you have 1 billion cameras following you, and everybody with the mobiles taking photographs. So there's hardly anything that can remain hidden.
Is that what has changed about, say, being a star or a superstar? That, in the 70s, there were a couple of handful of, say, media houses or magazines. So there was like a mystery involved. How is it that my star lives or behaves? But now everybody knows what is happening in the star's life. So do you think to connect with your fans is how superstardom works these days?
I don't know. I've never believed in superstardom. I believe that if people like your work, which is your performance in front of the camera, that is what attracts them to you. I don't see any other medium being used to attract audiences. It's eventually your film, and that's what's going to work. You may have the greatest managers and the greatest PR machines, but unless you perform well in front of the camera, it's of no use.
I mean, there has been a lot of media speculations around BTB, but I won't talk about her. I will talk about Baby B. How were you when you were a baby? Were you naughty? Were you like as...
I don't know. I've never been warned by my parents, or my parents never said that you were a horrible child, and I've always heard good things about me, so I guess I must have been a good child.
I mean, you never got into any trouble with your dad?
Oh, yes, of course we always get into trouble, you know. I mean, we are young, we are kids. We have fights with school children, we come back, reports are not good, things like that, which are very normal.
But in your films, I mean, you know, either you were someone who was against the system, a leader of the band sort of a thing, you know, leader of a group of brothers or a family. Did you, when you were growing up, were you something like that? Did children follow you and said, okay, Amitabh, we are with you and let's do some pranks? And
no, not really. Like I think when you're in school, you are part of a house. You know, your school is divided into houses. So when I was in Allahabad, in boys' high school, we had the blue house, red house, green house, and yellow house. And those same colors continued with us in Sherwood.
Yeah.
In Sherwood, the names were different, which were in keeping with the name Sherwood, because it depicted Robin Hood, Friar Tuck, Alan Adale, Little John.
What house did you belong to?
I was with Robin Hood.
I would be really surprised if you were Little John.
But we all used to believe, you know, that we are living in that era, and you know, with bows and arrows, and you know, play games accordingly. But that's about it.
But that must have been like quite a shift from, say, a day boarding in Allahabad to a
Oh yes,
hostel.
yeah. Oh yes. A boarding school was obviously different.
Were you ever bullied?
Yes, a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, one instance.
Well, you know, your first year is you're always, you know, you're ragged, you're bullied. I can't describe you what kind of ragging we had, but
We'll beep it.
Yeah. But yes, but that's all part of growing up, and I think that being in a boarding school is a great experience, and if people can afford to go there, then they should definitely send their children there, because it makes you independent, teaches you how to be dealing with situations which you may face in the years to come. Great time, and it's one of the happiest days of my life spent in boarding school.
When did you decide that you wanted to do films? At what point of your life?
I was working in Calcutta, and I've always been doing stage plays and been active with theatre and so on and so forth. And then my brother came across an advertisement, which was the United Producers Filmfare Madhuri Contest. And I felt that this was perhaps a legitimate way of getting into the film industry, because no one knows how to get into the film industry. So I applied, and I was rejected in the preliminaries, and then somehow I just felt I needed to be there. So I left my job and just landed up in Bombay and went from door to door looking for work.
But the first job was like a voiceover, maybe from
you
lent your voice.
That was just to keep yourself fed and.
There was no help from home.
Yes, there was, but I just felt I didn't need to tax them beyond a certain point, and quite frankly, my parents didn't have the kind of means to support me living in another place, especially since I'd been doing a job and had been very independent and comfortable. But here I wanted to struggle on my own, and so yes, you did those odd voiceover jobs and got 50 rupees for it, and it used to last you quite a while.
But to be an actor is one thing, to be a successful actor is another thing. To be a one-man industry is totally a different thing altogether. I mean, people have said that you are a one-man industry. A lot of houses or households were running because of your films.
I don't know who coined this word, but I really want to know what that meant. But I think if a few of your films are successful, then yes, people who are behind that are successful as well. And that would happen with any successful star. It would happen with Shah Rukh or Amir or Salman or Hrithik or any of the people who've been successful all these years.
You have Shah Rukh, you have Amir, you have Salman Khan, you maybe have Hrithik Roshan. But those days, if you have Amitabh Bachchan doing 4 films, 4 of them are blockbusters. I mean, scripts are being written around you. Yeah. They're not saying, okay, will you be a part of this script? They're saying, okay, this is Amitabh Bachchan. There are comic books being written around you. I mean, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, I think these are phases in an individual's life, or perhaps in the life of a particular profession, where you feel like feeding one particular subject, And I was just fortunate that I was picked to be the one to be doing that with this. So yeah, just fortunate.
But it has clearly never, always. In fact, I want to know more about that comic book. How did it? I mean, how did it?
It was
happen?
a journalist. I think it was Pami Bakshi,
Yeah.
who thought of the idea of a comic, and she consulted a few people, and she brought out this comic.
So
This comic book, yeah.
Were you happy with the way you looked in that comic book?
Well, you just went ahead with it. You never
Any
made you
inputs
look
in
like
this?
Superman, which it's you do some very difficult feats and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's a good feel.
But how did you? I was looking. I've read it a couple of times, and how did you say yes to that gamcha? I mean, your character is supposed to wears like a
Yeah. But this is all part of the designing that the
Yes.
makers thought of it. I just went ahead with it and said do what you like.
Okay,
Never
right?
paid much attention to it.
But talking about say, let's take this a little forward. I mean, it has never been like an easy cakewalk for Amitabh Bachchan in the industry. I mean, there have been ups and there have been downs. There have been injuries. There have been media boycotts, or your tiff with the media. How did you deal with all of that, and how do you bounce back? How does it happen?
I don't know what you mean by bouncing back. I just feel that I continue to do my work, and if the audience likes my work, I'm back in reckoning, if you can call it that. But I just feel that I've been a part of it, and ups and downs are there in everyone's life. There will be moments when you are very successful, there will be moments when you're not so successful. And that will happen to all of us.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for Retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.